FM. This is the news at 6. My name is Esther Wachiku. First off, the top stories. Police arrest 2,500 suspected criminals in Ondo State. Police ban protest unlawful gatherings in Anambra State. Also, gunmen attack Enugu police checkpoint, 2 officers killed. Shettima represents President Tinubu at Guinea president's inauguration, heads to Davos. Ansaru terror suspect trial stalls as DSS denies lawyers access. Court stops Rivers chief judge from proceeding with Fubara's impeachment. Rivers Assembly members give fresh update on impeaching Fubara deputy. Also, exclusive details have emerged indicated something quite sonorous as ex-AG of Malami quietly returns to court after Shorty moves to pull out. 6 judges help to leave Kuje prison. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The Ondo State Police Command today said it arrested no fewer than 2,500 suspected criminals across the 18 local government areas of the state in 2025. According to the command, the suspects were allegedly involved in crimes such as kidnapping, robbery, murder, stealing, courtesy, and vandalism, amongst others. The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adebowale of the command, who disclosed this in a statement, said the command was committed to ensuring adequate security of lives and property of the people of the state. He gave the breakdown, stating 250 of the suspects were arrested for unlawful possession of substance suspected to be hard drugs, 49 for armed robbery, 85 for kidnapping, 407 were nabbed for vandalization and stealing, 365 for courtesy, 50 for murder, and 1,434 allegedly committed some other undisclosed offences. He added that some items are recovered from the suspects, which include stolen vehicles, arms and ammunition, and forged documents, amongst others. While in Anambra State, the police command there has warned individuals and groups to desist from organizing or participating in any form of march or street protest or unlawful gatherings within Awka, the state capital, in the interest of public safety, peace, and public order. In a press statement today, the command spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga said the command cautions that unauthorized marches or protests could undermine security and capable of disrupting peace in the area. He also disclosed, however, that while protest is the right of any individual, obstructing lawful activities and causing unnecessary inconvenience to law-abiding citizens is also in the law. Ikenga, however, advised organizers and interest groups planning protests to explore constructive and lawful channels to express their grievances against the government. He went further to buttress the vehemence and importance of the necessity of that. He also disclosed, however, that the constitutional rights of citizens to lawful assembly and freedom of expression. However, the police is emphasizing that such rights must be exercised responsibly and strictly within the confines of the law. And in the same vein, the Anambra State Governor Soludo is imploring Anambraran youth to join the Nigerian army, saying that it's been quite a long time the civil war was over. Let's take a quick listen to him.
Has ended. The civil war ended 56 years ago. Because still, our youths from the southeast, and particularly from Anambra, the last recruitment exercise into the army and even into the police force, the Anambra, I think, had the lowest expression of interest in the country. I want to use this opportunity to call on our youths to enlist in the armed forces of Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us. We cannot participate in it by avoiding it. We cannot be full members, but at the same time get out. This is one area where we are marginalizing ourselves. Nobody is marginalizing us. If you refuse to enter the police, the armed forces, then in a few decades to come, you will turn around and complain that there are no officers, no these things of Anambra or Igbo extraction. we must participate equally as equal co-owners of Project Nigeria.
All right, that was the Anambra State Governor speaking there while he was addressing Anambrarians to immerse themselves in the activities of Nigeria and enlist in the Nigerian army to stop complaining about being underrepresented. And still on security situation, the trial of two alleged senior members of Ansaru, a terrorist group linked to Al-Qaeda, was on Thursday stalled at the Federal High Court in Abuja following complaints by defense counsel that he had been denied access to his clients in detention. The development occurred when the matter came up for trial before Justice Emeka Nwite. Counsel to the defendants, Bala Dakum, told the court that he could not proceed with the case because operatives of the Department of State Security had refused him access to the two accused persons, Mahmoud Usman and Abubakar Abba. Dakum explained that he had taken over the defense in October 2025 but had not been allowed to meet the defendants since then. The lawyer urged the court to order the transfer of the suspects to a correctional facility where he would be able to consult with them adequately. The defendants were arrested by Nigerian security forces in August 2025 and arraigned in September 2025 on a 32-count charge bordering on terrorism, illegal mining, and violent attacks allegedly carried out between 2013 and 2015. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Friday departed Abuja to represent the president at the inauguration of Mamadi Doumbouya as president of Guinea. The vice president is also scheduled to proceed from Guinea to Davos, Switzerland, where he will participate in the World Economic Forum annual meeting. The development was disclosed in a statement signed today by the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Communications, Stanley Nkwocha. According to the statement, Doumbouya's inauguration will take place on Saturday, January 18 at the GLC Stadium, Nongo, Conakry. Nkwocha says Shettima's participation reflects Nigeria's commitment to strengthen regional leadership, economic cooperation, and global integration in line with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. The statement added that the visit also underscores Nigeria's leadership role within the economic community of West African states, particularly in supporting Guinea's return to constitutional governance after a 4-year political transition. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has issued an order preventing the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Chibuza Ahmad, from accepting an impeachment notice directed against Governor Sim Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu. The Rivers State House of Assembly had earlier directed the Chief Judge of the state to constitute a panel to investigate allegations against Fubara and his deputy. In the interim orders of the injunction, the court restrained the Speaker of the House of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Mr. Martin Amawule, and 32 others, including the chief clerk of the House and the chief judge, from taking any steps towards the impeachment process. Specifically, the court barred Justice Amadi from receiving, forwarding, considering, or acting on any request to resolution articles of impeachment or any form of communication from the 1st to the 27th defendants for the purpose of constituting a panel to investigate the alleged misconduct against the governor and his deputy for a period of 7 days. Meanwhile, let's take a listen to the House of Rep members disclosing, however, that an impeachment should actually be proceeded with. Despite withdrawing the impeachment proceeding about 3 or 4 days ago, these House members withdrew their statement and said they support the proceeding to impeach the governor of Rivers State. Let's take a quick listen to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we members of the 10th Rivers State House of Assembly agreed to jointly address press today as a way of reaching out to our constituents and indeed the good people of Rivers State on the current matter of the impeachment process against the governor of Rivers State, similarly Fubara GSSRS, and the deputy governor, Professor Ngozi Odu. Some leaders and well-meaning Nigerians have called on us to once again halt the impeachment process against the governor and the deputy governor. This morning, the 16th day of January 2026, we concluded that there is indeed the need to proceed. This is the decision of all of us, including members who had the opportunity to address the media few days ago and those who had already decided not to proceed but changed their positions. In the face of prevailing situation, our decision to proceed is informed by the following. 1. The governor and the deputy governor do not have any intention to stop disobeying the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as altered. This is the third time that impeachment proceedings will top affairs of the state, and we have noticed that the governor and the deputy governor have mastered the act of manipulating leaders and public opinion against the House rather than retrace their steps, assured the House and indeed Nigerians that infractions on the Constitution and laws of Rivers State would be altered in the best interest of the state. 2. The governor and deputy governor are acting as if Rivers State House of Assembly does not exist. They are unperturbed about the allegations and are still boasting through their media attack dogs that members will simply be called to stop and that members cannot enforce the Constitution. This is indeed a real problem for our democracy, as it looks like the Rivers State governor and the deputy governor are above the Constitution and will continue to do whatever they like, and the arm of government that is empowered to check their excesses will always be ordered not to work, keep quiet, and be humiliated. 3. While members were positively considering calls from stakeholders, the governor and the deputy governor were busy using paid media platforms to attack us in the media, misinforming the masses as well as making plans to use state institutions like EFCC to intimidate us. They have refused to respond to any of the allegations or particulars of gross misconduct, but have so much time to go to the church and use innuendos of backing dogs to spite us, and are still insisting that they would not respect the legislature or work with members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, 10th Assembly precisely. 4. Many stakeholders who are calling on us are not willing to call on the governor and the deputy to do the right thing. The governor and the deputy governor are the aggressors, serial offenders of our Constitution, and a serious threat to our democracy. The sure path to sustainable peace and progress of our state is the rule of law, separation of powers, and respect for the Constitution, and not to blackmail or intimidate anybody or group. 5. In a bid to gain or win sympathy for the governor or deputy governor, many who do not mean well for Rivers State or democracy simply reduce everything to disagreement between our political leader and the governor. The real problem is that the governor and his deputy are at war with the ground norm, the Constitution, just to achieve their political goals. We urge the good people of Rivers State to read the notice of allegations against the governor and the deputy governor. We are convinced that they would understand better situation and the context of our own position. 6. Previous attempts at resolving the quagmire politically failed because the governor does not abide by any agreement and cannot be trusted. It is obvious that only the solution to It is obvious that the only solution now is to apply the solution prescribed by the 1999 Constitution as altered, which is impeachment of the incorrigible governor and the deputy governor. We therefore strongly appeal to all leaders at all levels and the good people of Rivers State to carefully consider the problem at hand and understand that the impeachment process is the best way to go at this point. We are using this medium to call on Mr. Speaker to allow the constitutional process to proceed unhindered.
All right, these were the two Rivers House of Rep members who had withdrawn the impeachment process about 4 or 5 days ago, now saying that the impeachment proceedings can continue. Meanwhile, the House of Assembly members rubbished the order by the State High Court stopping the ongoing impeachment of Governor Simfruba and his deputy. The court on Friday, as you do know, issued an interim injunction restraining the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amawule, and the Clerk of the House from sending any correspondence to the Chief Judge of the state. The court also stopped the state's Chief Judge, Justice Simeon Amadi, from making any step towards the impeachment process. However, the spokesman of the Assembly, Enemi George, said the court lacks the power to intervene in the matter. Enemi, who said the Assembly is not aware of any court order, stated that Section 188, subsection 10 of the Nigerian Constitution does not allow the court to intervene in the impeachment of the state governor. Elsewhere, a team of lawyers and loyalists of embattled former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, returned to the Federal High Court today, reportedly seeking Justice Emeka Nwite's understanding to expedite his exit from Kuje prison. The development comes after his shorty, initially involved in Malami's bail processing, reportedly threatened to withdraw from the arrangement despite the bail having been completed and signed by the judge the previous day. While it remains unclear what outcome was reached by the close of business day today, however, However, a legal practitioner familiar with the matter said the objective of the visit was to ensure that the former AGF could leave prison with the understanding of the judge and without complications. Malami had fulfilled all bail conditions imposed by the court after Justice Nwite approved his release from custody. Justice Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja had last week granted Malami, his wife and son bail of 500 million naira each with strict conditions including the submission of landed property, documents and travelling papers. The judge had ruled that each defendant must provide 2 sureties in like sum and the sureties must own landed property in Asokoro, Maitama or Gwaringpa. He added they must submit their travel documents to the court. The court also ordered that the documents of the properties must be verified by the Deputy Chief Registrar of the court, while the sureties must also depose to an affidavit of means. Now, the Atiku Abubakar's son, that is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress and declared support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second term. Mr. Abubakar was received into the APC on Thursday at the National Assembly by the Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibrin alongside other party leaders from the Northeast geopolitical zone. He also went ahead to explain that his decision to join the ruling party was due to the outstanding leadership of the Deputy Senate President. Mr. Abubakar announced his support for President Tinubu's re-election in 2027 and directed all coordinators and members of the political organization he founded in 2022, formerly known as the Haske Atiku organization, to immediately align with the APC and support the president's renewed hope agenda. Atiku Abubakar was the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, where he came second. He left the PDP, joined the ADC alongside other opposition leaders, formed to challenge the president in 2027. His son's public endorsement of President Tinubu, widely perceived as his father's political rival, would generate mixed reactions. The development could complicate Atiku's political calculations should he emerge as the ADC's presidential candidate. You're currently listening to the World News right here on Voice of the People 92.3 FM. It's now time for us to head into a news analysis segment where we'll be joined via the telephone with Barrister Darlington Agumore. We'll be looking into some of the stories read out on the World News at 6 and make a proper logical comprehension about what has been read so far. Do kindly stay with us. Barrister Darlington, good evening and thank you for staying with us today.
Good evening, son. How are you?
I am fine. Happy Friday.
Yes, so thank God it's Friday.
Yes, I know you already have your plans and you intend to enjoy it as fully as you can.
Oh, now that you remind me, anything for the boys?
Barrister, we're working. We're diligent Nigerians. We don't deal with boys. We deal with having to hold the government accountable.
After your news and whatever, I mean, it should be Friday.
Yeah. All right, Barrister, we'll take Kwame. But let's look at the situation like this. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, is actually asking Anambrarians, Nigerian youth, Southeastern youth, to enlist in the Nigerian army. That has been more than 50-something years that the Biafran war was over, and yet the Nigerian youth of the Southeast keep complaining that they're marginalized, they're isolated. Nigeria has refused to infuse them in the system. How can they be recognized? How can they be part of the system when they deliberately isolate themselves? He says that you could recall earlier in the year where the Nigerian army had come to meet the Anambra State Governor, saying that in the quota system, the Southeast is seriously lacking. You only have more of the North, in fact, more of the North and the Southwest in the Nigerian army. How do you react to this?
I am disappointed with Soludo.
Why are you disappointed in him? Is he not saying the truth?
I am disappointed in him for telling me that it is the Igbo that are marginalizing themselves. So with all that the Igbos have suffered so far, is that what Soludo is supposed to say? That means he does not understand his people. Anambra people, Anambra men and women are known for business. You cannot take it away from them. Let Soludo take his own son to go and join the army. So what is going on in Nigeria today is not enough to teach Soludo lesson. Was it President Soludo who wrote to Buhari to hand over Nnamdi Kanu to him? Did they answer him? Did they answer him? They have jailed that young man. Meanwhile, the real terrorists are roaming large all over the country. With what they have done in the Southeast particularly, is Soludo not supposed to speak against it? If that is not marginalization, then tell me what it is.
No, but Barrister, he's saying that the Southeast is overwhelmingly underrepresented in the Nigerian army. And we're not meeting up with the quota system. Monies are being given out, but there is nobody representing the Southeast. So he's saying that we should be part of the system. If you cannot complain of marginalization and isolation if you're not part of the system. You do away with Nigeria. Anything that has to do with Nigeria, you isolate yourself, but yet you want to enjoy the benefits of being a Nigerian. So in respect to that, would you understand where he's coming from?
I don't want to understand where he's coming from. Tell Soludo that they have killed all our young men. Tell Soludo that they have killed all our young men. So there is nobody to give them for the army. Did you hear me? There is no longer any young man in the Southeast to enroll into the military. Is it not this Soludo who told us that all the criminals in Anambra are Igbos? So this is that the Fulani herdsmen are doing all over the place. He still want to blame the Igbos for it, Abi. This insecurity that made Donald Trump to come into Nigeria. It was called by Anambra and IPOB.
Barrister,
Why is it that
what you're responding to now is in total contradiction to what he is talking about. He's not talking
What
about.
is he talking about?
He's saying that Anambra youth, the Southeasterners, should join the Nigerian army. That's what he's saying.
I'm giving you my reasons why that cannot happen. They should stop taking us to join the army. I said there's no young man to join the army in the Southeast. Is that not a fact? They have killed all our young men. So what else is left? When Soludo Maya, when they were doing Python dance and all that, what happened? Were you not there when Amnesty International, we was even sympathizing with the Southeast to what they have done to the young men there? Nobody spoke against it. No Igbo leader spoke against it. All of them were there when this slaughtering and massacre was going on in the Southeast. So who is to join the army now? Who? No, tell me, who is to join the army? And it has to be this time that ISWAP, Boko Haram, and the Fulani herdsmen, they don't want to see anybody either as a Christian or Igbo. So they want to go and sacrifice them in the battlefield, Abi.
Okay, so Barrister, other young boys from other regions that have joined the army and they have died. How would you define that situation?
Well, they want
have
to
given their
join them.
lives for Nigeria.
How many of them from the Southwest here? How many of them joined?
A lot of them in the Southwest are in the Nigerian army, especially in the Marine and the Air Force. A lot of them are there. A lot of them are commanders of various units. A lot of them are also in the field, sir.
We are their targets. You know the perception of the Igbos or Southeasterners in Nigeria generally. Ansaru is there, killing us. The military are there, killing us. Is that not what happened in Nigeria? I didn't Ansaru speak out against this thing. But they did not talk about it. So how many other regions did they give Ansaru contract to go and kill? Or you answer me. No. Was it not only the side that Ansaru collected the contract to be killing the Igbos woto? So which other region did anybody collect contract to be killing their young men? Mention. Esther, mention. Look, you Igbos should be very wise. You should be very wise. They have just done the canon, but the real terrorists are still here with us. They are still here disturbing Nigeria. Yet the Igbo cannot even use it. Our leaders, all the people in political leadership, they cannot use it as a bargain and say, come, why are you treating our boys like this when the real terrorists are there in the north? Nobody has spoken against all these things. Nobody. You cannot challenge the federal government and say, come, is it the support that caused this security in Nigeria? Then why are you treating them like this? Nobody has spoken against it. Nobody.
Okay, so Barrister, are you disabusing the minds of the Southeastern young boys from joining the Nigerian army with what you have surmised?
Esther.
Sir?
I understand your brother is in US also. Go and bring him to join me.
You understand?
I understand.
In what context? In what way does that actually?
In the same context, yes. No, in the same context, yes. In the same context. call him to come and join the army, or you tell Soludo to bring his children to join the army. Did you hear me? They are killing them when they did not join the army. Imagine when they now join the army, they will just select all of them and say, go and face a swap. Look, if the Igbos want to join the army, let there be peace. In peace time, they can join the army, but not now. Let them know how to sort the terrorists they brought into Nigeria first. And when everything has been sorted out, the Igbos can join the army, but not now. Not now. They don't love you. They want to use you as a cannon fodder. They want to go and sacrifice you in the battlefield. They brought these terrorists until they sort them out, until they remove them from Nigeria. We are not joining any army. And let them continue what they are doing.
Well, Barrister, a couple of persons may say that you are not encouraging and that you are still trying to give the mindset that the Southeasterners are not part of Nigeria for what you have said. But yes, some persons will agree with you that...
Have you been part of Nigeria? Just begin to think of how they have been treating you. They will not force us to join the CBN, no. They will not force us to join the Federal Revenue Service, they will not. Esther, they will not force us to join any NPC. They will not force us. It is the military. It is always the military. Imagine, look at sense. Look, I don't want to say certain things now. Tell them to be careful. Every time, come and join the military. Every time, come and join the military. Every time. These other places income. These other lucrative and classy places. Why can't they force us to join them? Let them force us to join these other places.
Are you saying that in the lucrative places you don't have persons of Southeast extraction there? In the pharmaceutical industry, you have a lot of them there. Are you saying in the NNPC you don't have those of Southeast extraction that are there as well?
Go there, go and take inventory. Esther, go and take inventory. Didn't you see how Tinubu made his appointment?
Oh, God.
Esther, didn't you see how Tinubu made his appointment? Begin to tell me how many Igbos are in top echelon of any of these institutions? Please tell me. Mention one. Esther, mention one.
The head of the Air Force is from the Southeast. The person in charge of the Nigerian Air Force right now is from the Southeast. The newly Air Force chief is from the Southeast. Nigerian Air Force, sir. You're talking about appointments that are in the top echelon. So, I mean, is that not proper representation? I'm asking, Barrister. It's my job to ask.
What is the benefit? Hold on. What is the benefit of the Air Force man to the Southeasterners?
There is a benefit. You just asked the question that how many of the Southeasterners are occupying top echelons, and I gave you an instance.
Hold on. Can't an Igbo man be chief of army staff for once? Can't an Igbo man be chief of army staff? Me. I answer that question. Can't an Igbo man be chief of army staff? Can't an Igbo man be the IGP of police? When it is their turn, they will shuffle everything. Sack those they want to sack. So that the turn of the Igbo man will be taken by somebody else. Is that not what they have been doing? Is that not what I've been doing? Frank Mba, or that what's that man's name? Who was supposed to be the IGP? What happened? What happened? Look, it's time we begin to interrogate some of the actions of against the Southerners. Because it is too much, we have been too quiet, and that's why they do whatever they like. We have been too quiet. Our leaders are not even the people we have in Igbo land are leaders. They are not supposed to be leaders because they are not speaking out. Do you remember when people wanted to bring some federal ministry to Lagos? You saw how not reacted, Esther. You saw how they reacted as if it didn't belong to them. You saw how they reacted, and people had to set up a committee to go and plead with them, to go and beg them. And such a thing happened in the Southeast. Whatever they do, you don't be quiet. Nobody talks. Nobody says anything. Are you telling me you are not being marginalized? People are for self-help. I don't think that maybe it's one man that will be 3 million a day. If not for self-help, they never wanted it to breach. The presence of this man in Nigeria is irritating them.
Barrister, you cannot, Barrister, you cannot generalize that, and we're on national radio for you to induce this kind of emotional state. Sir?
Buhari to Tinubu, were you recognized? From Buhari's government to have you been recognized as an equal man? Don't tell me the truth. Why did Nnamdi Kanu do that? They had to send him to prison.
Barrister, is it just Nnamdi Kanu? You're always using Nnamdi Kanu as a reference point.
How for what the terrorists are doing? What are you telling me?
I say you're always using Nnamdi Kanu as a reference point.
Oh, if I don't do, what will I use? Esther, what will I use to protect me? Nnamdi Kanu's case is a metaphor for marginalization of Igbos. It's a metaphor. If you cannot make reference to it, then you are not an Igbo man. Why did that young man do that? They had to send him to prison. The terrorists. The terrorists that brought America to come and disgrace the Ethiopia in the north, roaming rats. Esther, please tell me how you justify this for God's sake. The real terrorists, government is discussing with them. They are lodging with them. Up to today, have anybody called that boy? What is your problem? Up to today, from Buhari to Tinubu. Esther, please tell me. But you see how they have been holding meetings. Shegumi and the bandits and the terrorists are Fulani herdsmen. How do you justify all this is for God's sake, and you are telling me you are not marginalized? Look, I told you I don't want to go deep into this matter this evening. No, I'm not joking.
All right, Barrister.
Let them continue what they are doing. But the one thing I know is that God is beginning to hear our prayers. Yes. All they are doing now, thank God, the outside world is now coming into this matter. They have seen what is going on. Every Christian you see in Nigeria, every three Christians you see in Nigeria today, one of them is an Igbo man. Because we are mostly Christians on the southeast. So this killing about the Christians, is it not that is mostly affected?
All right,
because
Barrister.
Igbos are all over the place.
Let's look at this. All right,
they are not
Barrister.
marginalized.
Barrister, let's look at this.
Look, Esther, please, tell Soludo, when they want to work with people to go and tell their political profile, they should be very careful. They should stop using us to project themselves because they want political appointment. It's enough. This selling of Igbo should stop in the southeast. And that's what Nnamdi Kanu was against. That's why they put him away. Everybody that you can't even talk of your own self, your own fault before others. You sell your people, you use your people to go and become big man. They told you, go and break your property at Lekki because you want to build the coastal road. After destroying it, you go back to the remapping. That's how it turn out. A handsome man will not try that. A Fulani man will not try that. A Yoruba man will not try that. But it must be Igbo man. They will use you against your woman. And you are saying they are not.
Barrister, did you say a Yoruba man will not try that? What's happening in some estates? The Jakonde said at that's Lekki access was demolished. Makoko, Warenshoki, this access not southwestern dominated, and they were approved to be demolished despite the fact that there's a pending court order.
Hold on.
Okay.
To what extent? It's for their own selfish interest.
Oh my God, Barrister.
It is their own selfish interest. Leave that thing.
All right, Barrister. I'm just trying to say that it's an all-round Malay when it comes to Nigeria's leadership.
Okay, hold on. Is he a true governor of his state? Esther, what Uzodema and what he did in Imo State? Mention any other governor that has done it to his own people in all the states in Nigeria. Just for one person, one governor. He's now living in Ansaru, a governor. I told him very soon he will stop shining shoes and come back to his state. What are you telling me? He's supposed to have the governor of Imo State. Why is he not in Abuja? Doing what? So that they will make him what? After using him now, they will dump him. Like some other person that have used in the south, every other person. They use them and dump them. They use them and dump them. Imagine how many of you that died under what put on them mass watch as the governor of Imo State. I should clap for him, Abi. I should not celebrate him, Abi. Shame on him. Shame on him to what happened. Even his own local government, Omoma. There is no young man there. No young man there. And you are a governor.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's look at this. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja to represent the president at the inauguration of Mamadi Doumbouya as president of Guinea, and from there he'll be heading to Davos. And because of that, Nigerians have been asking, where is the president? Although we heard he's in Abu Dhabi, we saw a picture, a small snippet of a video of him, but since then he hasn't returned to the country, and a couple of Nigerians are saying the president should please return home. What exactly is he doing outside Nigeria? And leaving the vice president to take over or be in charge of delicate circumstances or delicate issues in the country. But is that not the role of the vice president? If the president is not around, is the vice president meant to take over that responsibility of administering and representing the president where he is needed, especially if the president cannot be physically there?
Esther,
Sir?
can you please mention to me mention from the Western world to Asia or any other country in the world where the vice and the president are always out of the country at the same time? Mention one particular place, especially America, with communist democracy, that Donald Trump will live for wherever and then the vice will live for wherever. At the same time, that means just tell me any time at any point in time where any country in the whole world has a country. Just mention. That will tell you the kind of thing we are suffering here. They just abandon you to your fate and just move out. Just go away as if, they have made this governance, they have mess of it. You are not even important. They don't even consider that you are the one that gave them this job. They are serving you. But whenever they feel like they just disappear, you won't even know where they went to. You don't know what they have gone for and all that. As if you are not important. Can you just mention any country where this type of nonsense is going on or has happened? You cannot leave that country. They will not. The press will follow you. Everything you are doing, wherever you are going, until you come back. In the Nigerian case, they just disappear from the radar. You don't know where they are, what they are doing.
Well, Barrister, this is not the first time it has happened. It happened during the administration of late Muhammadu Buhari, and this is not the first time the president and the vice have left the country. But Bayo Nanuga had told us that every function of governance is operating smoothly. Everyone knows their responsibility and they're going ahead of it. But the thing is that the president has been out of the country for quite a while, and they're asking, where is the president? Nobody's giving any specific update. So they are saying, why is the president missing conveniently, specifically since before Christmas?
When you tell a lie, you look for another lie to cover the false lie you told. If it was APC in opposition, imagine what they would have been saying and what they have been doing by now. That is why I keep telling you that this opposition, they don't even know when there is a campaign issue. They are not exploiting the situation, the facts presented to them by this APC government. I'm not joking. They don't know how to make use of opportunities. With what APC is doing in office, in fact, they should have been making a political capital out of it. What are they running away from Ansaru for? Esther, what is pursuing this people from Ansaru? There must be something there that it doesn't allow them to sit down. I'm not joking. And maybe it is what they did before they came into office. The thing is now haunting them that they don't want to stay in their house. You think it's for nothing? They will continue to run. Whatever you sow, you reap. You think it's ordinary, Abi? Don't worry, at the end of the day, the truth will come out. The truth of what is going on in Ansaru will come out. I don't need to be told. Because this is not ordinary.
What if there are presidential functions that they're attending and they have to attend it? It's not the first time. Nigeria always goes to Davos for economic summits, and most times it's actually the vice presidents that represent. I remember during the previous administration, Professor Yemi Osinbajo was always represented. And even the whole Davos meeting, this is not the first time Shettima is going to represent.
Esther, why can't one of them be at home? before the other one will go to wherever they want to go to. Is that not something that is reasonable to do? Please tell me. What are they even going to contribute to what, since they know little or nothing about what is being discussed? Tell me. No, all the ones have been traveling here and there. What did they bring back home? What did they come back with? Nothing. Esther, nothing. Every time they look for one excuse or the other to run away from Nigeria. After destroying Nigeria, they can no longer stay in the same place they destroyed. You can see why it is not good to do evil, because that evil will catch up with you. If Nigeria were to be as good as those places, Esther, we do not be happy to sit down here and people will be coming here to pay homage to them. You can see. Esther, you can see what I'm talking about. They have messed up like the fowl who messed up the ground and is now flying on top of trees and all that. If Nigeria were to be good, Esther, we do not be happy to be here, and people will be coming here to pay homage to them. Is that not a fact? So you don't need to tell anybody that your house is not in order. They will see it from how you are behaving. A whole president of Nigeria is in charge for almost 20 days now. Nobody knows where he was about that. A country governed by somebody. And APC spokesman is trying to defend it. And this opposition, in fact, this opposition, they form my hand, seriously.
All right, Barrister.
There would have been a serious protest about it. A serious protest about it. APC will have capitalized on this that's going on. They make speeches and that is all.
All right, Barrister Darlington, but we actually have run out of time. But finally, Atiku's son has joined the All Progressives Congress and he has fully given his support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, his father is in the coalition, the ADC, that intends to supposedly ensure that APC does not continue in 2027. How would you describe this figure of, I don't know how to call it, there's an idiom of expression for what transpired right now. The son of somebody who supposedly is running as a presidential candidate in another political party, pledging support for an opposition. Although a lot of talks have emerged from that, they're wondering the authenticity of Atiku's statesmanship in the ADC. What is the plan? Now, this has created a lot of talks about Atiku and what he represents. Some persons say this proves that he is indeed working for the APC in the ADC. Others believe that how would he have allowed his son join the APC, knowing full well that he intends to unseat the person, the president, that the son is pledging allegiance to. Others say, what is the original authenticity of his son to support the president when the father is in a different political party? How would you be in the same house and you're trying to serve another master over your father that is a master of your own house? How do you describe this?
There is nothing wrong in what Atiku is doing. You know, I've always told you that Atiku is a moderate.
There is nothing. I'm not talking about Atiku. I'm talking about his son.
It's the same Atiku now who allowed it. It's the same Atiku that allowed it. Some fathers will not dare. In fact, you don't even try it. Some Muslims will not happen to happen under their watch because of the embarrassment it will bring to them. But let me tell you, it is a political strategy.
You think it's a strategy? You think that they know that the father intends to unseat them?
It is a political strategy. Didn't you see how the young man was welcomed? It is a political strategy. Atiku wants to be relevant in the political situation of Nigeria. Whether he is in or out, he wants to see the men relevant. It is the strategy. I want some people to learn from what he has just done.
Okay.
Yes.
What are they supposed to learn?
Yes. Yes, to learn that when you are in a place of quagmire, think of the best way out.
Barrister, what if it was the president's son that joined the ADC? What would have been your response?
He will not allow it.
So he will not.
That I know will.
No, but how would you have interpreted that scenario where the president, the son, joins an opposition party? How do you think that reflects? How do you think that reflects on the leadership capacity or capability of the father if a son does not believe in a political ideology and rather goes to an opposition? You don't think that they will question the genuine leadership qualities of the father for your son to join another political party over yours?
Don't think of impossibilities, because it will never be possible. Tinubu will not allow his son to join the opposition party that he wants to take over from him. Tinubu, that in fact, even the people he appointed or the people working for him, if any of them go to that day, EFCC will knock on their door. That very day, EFCC will not, they will now put their book of remembrance and remember all they did wrong. That is the trouble for you. So I don't need to be told he will not allow it. Tinubu don't want opposition. He doesn't want anybody to disobey him. That is his own godfather. That's the way he is his own godfather. When I have been telling you that Atiku is a moderate Muslim, people don't want to listen to me.
Barrister, some people may not buy your thought because they feel that you have a soft spot for Atiku, so it's not surprising if you...
Look, I am being sincere here. I am being sincere, seriously. Okay. I am being sincere here. It's not even the Atiku that will stop all this terrorism, because these are his people. Yes, he may be the one to stop. He will call them to order and say, look, this is your cannot work. Oh. You better stop embarrassing us. I'm not joking. It is the owner of a mad dog that will call a mad dog to order. Atiku is a Muslim. I have told the history. I have told the story. Look at all the sacrifices he made. No hardcore, no extreme, no political Muslim will allow that to surrender to Obasanjo. When you have it on a platter of good in your hands, he will not miss that opportunity. But he surrendered it. Esther, he surrendered it, and now they are using it against him. So please, people should be circumstances here. It is the order of the mad dog that will call the mad dog to order. He may be the solution to this thing, because these are his people. That's what I'm saying here.
All right, Barrister, thank you so much for taking your time to give us your insight into some of the stories right here on the World News at 6. We sincerely do appreciate your input.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you. And just before we go, let's look at stories outside the shores of Nigeria. The exiled son of the last Iranian Shah king has called on the world to help protesters topple Iran's government, saying he is confident the Islamic Republic will fall, not if but when. Reza Pahlavi, a US-based opposition leader, called for a surgical strike on Iran's Revolutionary Guards, which he said would facilitate our task and prevent more loss of lives. More than 2,000 protesters have been killed, and this is according to human rights groups. And demonstrations started over the economy on the 28th of December and turned into calls for the end of the rule of Iran's supreme leader Ali Hosseini Khamenei. The Iranian government has called the protest riots backed by Iran's enemies. Pahlavi has emerged as a prominent figure in Iran's fragmented opposition and has previously urged Iranians to escalate their protest. But protesters have been met with deadly force by authorities, marked by a near total shutdown of the internet and communication services. US President Donald Trump has warned Iran's government against killing protesters, telling demonstrators earlier this week that help is on its way. Iran's parliament speaker had warned that if the US attacked, both Israel and US military and shipping centers in the region would become legitimate targets. The US and UK have reduced the number of personnel at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, with one American official saying it was a precautionary measure. On Friday, at a news conference in Washington, Pahlavi vowed to return to Iran and laid out a plan for creating a new constitution in the country. He claimed that sections of Iran's security apparatus had refused to take part in the crackdown and that the Iranian authorities had brought in fighters from foreign militias to quell the protest. Asked about the future leadership in Iran, Pahlavi disclosed that it is meant for the Iranian people to decide. He also said he believes he can lead and has the Iranian people's support, trying to liberate them and also while they liberate themselves. And that's a wrap on the World News at 6 on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good evening and thank you for listening.